Today we will deal with one of the most discussed themes of this manga. What is the great treasure, the One Piece? Let's start from what we know it cannot be, because Eiichiro Oda himself stated in an interview in 2019 that One Piece will not consist in the bond of friendship between the protagonists or in the journey itself. His exact words are, "No, I hate that kind of thing. That's like the ending of The Wizard of Oz, which I watched when I was a kid. Adventuring that long and having the adventure itself be the treasure is really dissatisfying. Those kinds of stories are impossible. It feels like I've gone on this long adventure, so give me the treasure." It's not specifically stated that One Piece is necessarily material and concrete. Also because we know that a poneglyph will certainly be present in order to understand the story that Roger or Rayleigh have learned years before, interpreting the history in their own way. It's not excluded that part of the great treasure may actually consist of gold and precious stones. However, after 20 years of waiting, we cannot expect only material goods, as much as numerous and important they may be. Also, we need to understand what was so important to push Roger to mobilize entire generations of pirates in search of this treasure, thus sacrificing the lives of innocent citizens killed by unprincipled pirates, like Captain Estus Kid, for example. It's not so wrong to consider Roger a demon if we put ourselves in the shoes of a humble civilian. The only reason that can motivate such a sacrifice is a value so high and precious that it has led to bloodbaths and death in our own history, a thought goal in the history of the old and the new continent that is often underestimated today and that in the world of One Piece doesn't exist. Let's think about what is shown as an example of the One Piece world not being able to show every single island. When the four commanders of the Revolutionary Army reached the kingdom of Lulusia, in panic due to the attack of the Pink Bear pirates. On this occasion, it's explained that when the revelry takes place, the royals and the strongest warriors of the kingdom sail to Marijoa, leaving their territories almost undefended. Therefore, these are often attacked and plundered by pirates, who leave behind them death, destruction, and misery. Furthermore, in order to be recognized by the world government, the royals impose a tax on their subjects, the celestial tribute, which all the nations of the world government are required to pay regardless of the costs and sacrifices they have to make. In fact, this tax has left many kingdoms broke, and it was conceived for the sole purpose of far-reaching and supporting the world neighbors, the celestial dragons. The celestial dragons are represented since their first appearance as arrogant and devoid of moral values, riding slaves while drinking wine, comparable to a real tyrant who was portrayed in the same behaviors, the Chinese ruler Xia Jie, but also comparable to the attitudes of the French nobleman Marquis de Sade, who committed terrible actions from a moral and legal point of view. In the world of One Piece, you cannot challenge the world nobles, otherwise an admiral will intervene, most likely executing the rebel without any trial, and there are no ways to counter such a power. Maybe joining the Revolutionary Army and trying to bring freedom, fairness, and justice. It's no coincidence that one of the revolutionary commanders, Belobati, is inspired by the Marianne in the pose visible in the painting Freedom That Guides the People, and also by the American revolutionary Betty Zane. These two female figures embody the distinctive values of the American War of Independence and French Revolution, which historically has been inspired by the first thanks to the Marquis of Lafayette, who actively fought in both and was regarded with extreme by Washington. This should make it clear where the story of One Piece will have to culminate: in the war of the people of the pirates, as the freest men in the world, against the war navies and the world government, probably including the navy. So, the great treasure, the reason why Roger has pushed many generations of pirates to set sail, is the achievement of the freedom that will be guaranteed by One Piece. Finally, in the world of One Piece, there will no longer be only subjects, but citizens with inviolable rights, leading to the disappearance of world nobles and the world government that in fact was the great enemy of the ancient kingdom, which, like Athens, conceived a first form of democracy, but it was then razed to the ground by the enemy kingdom. In fact, the One Piece is freedom, and will mainly consist of a poneglyph containing a constitution capable of embodying the values of democracy, a concept never heard in One Piece, where there are only and exclusively kingdoms or similar forms of government. It will also consist of indications on how to obtain it by exploiting the ancestral weapons, and this great storm will shock the whole world. Once the world government has been brought down and the navy revolutionized, perhaps leaving it in the hands of good and honest characters such as Kobe, Smoker, or Garp, it will be possible to use ancestral weapons in order to also materially unite the world of One Piece. Pluton, as a warship, can be used to bring down the Red Line, while Poseidon will tame the sea kings in that calm seas to bring the fishmen back to the surface. Uranus, instead, will direct the winds and currents in order to unite all the seas. In this way, all the islands can be visited and all people will be able to meet and unite in one great civilization. The Mugiwara will also be able to realize their dreams. Jinbe will have brought the free fishmen back to the surface and will continue to fight for their rights and equality. Brooke will be able to see Lovun again, while Frankie will have actually built the ship of his dreams, capable of facing any sea. Robin will have discovered the history of the Void Century by giving his own interpretation. Finally, Gohar's will has been realized and the history brought to light. Chopper will be able to visit each island on which, studying and researching to create the much needed panacea together with Milky. Nami will be able to map each island without having to travel all the routes of the Grand Line one at a time. And Sanji will be able to find the Old Blue at the conjunction created between the various seas. Usopp will have become a brave warrior of the sea, conquering every sea together with his captain and perhaps commanding his own fleet. Zoro will face every great swordsman by earning 3 black swords before finally confronting Mihawk and earning the title of greatest swordsman in the world. Luffy will have conquered the Grand Line and will be able to sail freely for each sea, finally choosing his own destiny without having to take on the history of the whole world anymore. Thanks for listening to me. If you like the theory, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel to not miss new content. Oh, sorry for my bad English. I'm working hard to improve it. Bye. Wait a minute. What if the D stands for democracy? Oh, gosh. That's it.